Hey everyone, my name is Amanda and I'm the Fun Size Reader, and today I want to bring you a review for an indie book that I've been looking forward to for a long time. But I want to tell you a little bit more about this. So the book is called The Curse of Ophelia by Nicole Platania. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I got this book as an e-ARC copy and I read it before pub date. The book is set to be published on February 7th. So, because I requested this book, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I have been following Nicole and Nicole writing this book and being an indie author and her progress for a while now. And I've gotten to know Nicole. Nicole and I are friends, okay? We're not like super close. Like, I don't call her and stuff like that, but we're friends on social media. Because of that, some of you may not trust this review. Some of you may not at all. But let me be completely honest when I tell you, I was terrified to read this book. I was terrified because I feel super, super uncomfortable when authors see my review. I don't tag authors in reviews. I don't send them to authors. I don't tag them in videos or anything on my Instagram, TikTok. I don't do that anymore. I don't like it because I don't want it to make anybody feel bad about things that I think about their work. So I was really nervous to actually request the ARC from Nicole because I know she's gonna probably see it. And I'm saying that so you guys understand that either way, whether I'm friends with her or not friends with her, I'm always going to be honest with what I think of a book to all of you. That's why I'm here. Even if I don't like something or I do like something or I'm friends with the author or I'm not friends with the author or I've never even heard of them before, like that is, I'm just going to be honest. That's the way I am. So you can take this video however you want, but I'm telling you the good and the bad that I am going to say, or the positive and negative that I'm going to say, is all how I truly feel, despite my friendship or relationship or business relationship with Nicole. And I will always continue to do that no matter who writes the book. This review will also be spoiler free because I got an ARC copy. So I'm not going to talk about any specifics as much as I possibly can. I'm obviously going to have to say how things made me feel, but I'm going to really try to keep from spoilers, okay? Because it's not fair if you guys haven't been exposed to it yet. I wish I could do a spoiler video because I have specific things that I want to say, but I can't. So I'm not going to do that. So just so you know, this is going to be completely spoiler free. The Curse of Ophelia is about this world, this fantastical world, and it is divided up into kind of 3 different areas or kingdoms. Each of the people that reside in those kingdoms have different qualities and there's different magics, etc. The Curse of Ophelia focuses on the Mystique warriors, which is a certain part of the land. Ophelia is a descendant of very strong Mystique warriors. Now, the Mystique warriors were, in the past few years, hit by a curse that killed off a lot of them. There was a war that ensued, and because of this, there were agreements among the leaders that the Mystique warriors would no longer go through what was called the undertaking, which was like a process that propelled them into their full powers. So none of the Mystique warriors do that any longer. And Ophelia always felt that that was her calling and it was no longer allowed. But in addition to no longer being allowed to go into the undertaking, Malachi, her boyfriend, fiance, kind of bonded, chosen lover, disappeared and has been gone for 2 years. So one day, Ophelia notices that she actually is cursed with the same curse that was taken away a few years ago at the end of the war. And so she decides that she is going to move forward with trying to do the undertaking in order to try to save herself from this curse. And along the lines in doing that, she's going to try to search for Malachi. Star rating. I think this book deserves 4 stars. It deserves 4 stars from me. I did really like it, but I really liked it past a certain point, and I will kind of explain why. And some of you may guess it as soon as I say why, but it definitely, I think, deserves 4 stars. This is also, I believe, a new adult book, so there is a little bit of spice in it. In the beginning, it's kind of like flashbacks because if you listen to the synopsis, Malachi, the love interest, is not there. He's gone. So there's a little bit of spice kind of throughout, but if I were to give this one a rating, I'm going to give it a 2. There's not a ton. Some of it is a little bit less descriptive than other pieces of it, but it sits at a solid 2. So the first thing that I'm going to say about this book that I think I have to say to you guys, all of you know that I am a fantasy romance reader. I love fantasy romance, and I would rather pick up a fantasy romance than just a fantasy. I do still read just fantasy books, but I love the fantasy romance. I love when that's what it's about. It's weird for me that I gave this book 4 stars because I personally did not feel that it was as strong of a fantasy romance as other fantasy romance books that I've read. And the reason I say that is because the relationship between Ophelia and Malachi is established on page 1. There's no falling in love. There's no pursuing the relationship. They are together. They are bound. There's no falling in love. There's no romance. It's already done. The story is more of a growth, a character, and I should say that it is like a hero's journey. Like that is straight up what this book is. It's a hero's journey, and Ophelia is the hero. That being said, it is very like based in Greek mythology, and you get all of those vibes, but from the romance aspect, it's not what I typically read. I typically read the falling in love books, and there wasn't that. And I have things that I want to say about that are spoilers, and I can't say them. So when you read this book, because I do think you should, please send me a DM because I want to talk about those things and I can't put them in this video. It felt more of a fantasy because we weren't following the love. The love was taken away and we were trying to find him again. Now, I have a history with separation tropes, okay? I have a history with them. I was in a long distance relationship for many years with my husband. Separation tropes hit me. They hit me hard. The biggest one that hits me, which is why I can't watch the show and I can't really read the books anymore, is Outlander. Outlander has a huge separation trope, but we have the love story first, and then we have the separation trope. And I felt like that is what really kind of kept me from really caring about the romance aspect of The Curse of Ophelia, was because I didn't get the falling in love before the separation. Does that make sense? Like, I hope that makes sense to people because I'm trying to explain what I was thinking while I was reading it. One of the other things that I meant when I said I thought it was a 4-star after a certain point was that I felt that the beginning was a little bit long and the journey part was a little bit long. And that's what I mean when I say that you guys will know as soon as I say it. Any of you who have been on my channel for any significant amount of time will know that I am not a traveling journey plot book person. Anytime there's a long journey with just things that happen along the journey, but it doesn't really progress the plot, I get a little bored. Now that did end. And it got to, like, we got to the place that we wanted to go and the plot line progressed and there were lots of twists and turns and some things that I guessed and some things that I didn't guess. So it like left me really happy towards the end of the book. Like the second half, I was like, really happy with it. But the journey part and kind of the lead up part was a little long for me. But that's just me. Like, we know that I don't do well with journeys and with things that just happen along the journeys. Now, I have no idea if the things that happened along the journey were breadcrumbs for things that are coming in subsequent books. I have no clue. I can only speculate that. I hope that, because I felt like the way that the end was written with the twists and the connections and things, like in my head, there has to be those things that happen have to be breadcrumbs, but I have no idea. I hope so. I'm going to like continue reading the series to find out because I want to know, but the journey part, just a little too long for me. But again, with the Greek mythology, like tie-ins and inspiration, it kind of reminded me a little bit of like the Odyssey, right? I don't know. I didn't actually read the Odyssey, but I know of the Odyssey. That's kind of the vibe that it gave me. The journey and the monsters and the things that like come after you and then you have to beat them and whatever. Okay, the aging of the characters was a little weird. And what I mean by that is like the main characters were Ophelia and her sister who were like 20 or 21 and 18, I think. And then Malachi was a little bit older. And then Tolik and Sif and Rena, they were all around Ophelia's age. What was weird to me was like there was this mention of like expanded aging, like the Fae, but they weren't Fae. They were the Mystique Warriors. So like their parents had been together for like hundreds of years. And then conveniently, they all had kids that were 20 years old all around the same time. Like, I just thought it was a little, like, it didn't make sense to me a little bit. It was a little too convenient that they were all like in their 20s, but all the parents were like 100 years old. So that was a little wonky to me, a little bit. But along those lines, all the characters that I just mentioned, I really, really liked the characters. There wasn't a character. Well, okay, I'm not going to say there wasn't a character that I didn't like because obviously there are characters that you're not supposed to like. Of the like main core group of characters, the found family, I really liked the characters. And if I'm going to say about the journey, the one thing about the journey length that I did like was with each thing you kind of got to know the found family a little bit more. So while they were journeying and just moving to task to task to task, you did develop a deeper connection with the characters each time something happened. So I did really like that. And I did really feel like I cared about what happened to the characters. And so I want to know how the next book goes. Like I said before, the ending was great. I thought the ending was great. I expected one of the twists. I was like, there's no way that it can't be this. In my head, I was like, this is what it is. But then other parts of it, I did not anticipate. I liked that it still gave me something that I didn't predict, but also that I was satisfied in the way that the twist went. And it wasn't just like an easy way out. I thought it was really good. I liked the ending a lot. It did leave me, like I said, with questions, wondering if things were breadcrumbs and wanting to know what happens in book 2. And so I do really recommend this book to people. Like, I think if you like fantasy, it's a great, great book to read. Fantasy romance is I'm a little wavy on saying like this is a great fantasy romance, but that goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Like, we didn't get the romance. But again, I have things that I wish I could say when it comes to that statement that I want to say that I can't say. So if you want to know how I really feel after you read the book, just send me a DM or leave me a comment or whatever. But mark spoilers. The Curse of Ophelia is available, I believe, from all of the bookstores. I know it was available in the Barnes & Noble pre-order sale. I know it's on Amazon. I'm not sure if Nicole decided that she's going to put it on Kindle Unlimited or not yet. I know I had asked her a long time ago if she did, and she said she hadn't decided yet. So I don't know which way she's going on that one. Again, I'm not just telling you to read the book because I know the person. I was afraid to read the book because I was afraid that I wasn't going to like it. And I'm actually really happy that I did like it because I do like supporting people that I know and authors that I like. And kind of watching Nicole go through the whole self-publishing process has been really inspiring. So I really hope that you guys pick up Ophelia and that you like it and enjoy it like I did. I will put the link in the description down below. And don't forget, you can find me on all the social media at The Fun Size Reader. And I'll see you guys next time.